The covenant that changed history, God's promise to Abraham. Opening hook. What if I told you that one ancient promise made over 4,000 years ago is still shaping the world today? A promise so powerful that it influenced nations, religions, and the destiny of billions of people. This is not a myth. This is not a legend. This is the true story of God's covenant with Abraham, a man who dared to believe in invisible God. And this promise changed everything. Part 1. Who was Abraham? Abraham was not a king. He was not a warrior. He was not rich or famous. He was an ordinary man living in a city called Ur of the Chaldeans, a place filled with idols and false gods. One day, something extraordinary happened. God spoke to him. Leave your country, your people, and your father's household, and go to the land I will show you. No map, no details, no safety guarantee, just a command and a promise. Abraham was 75 years old when he made one of the most dangerous decisions of his life. He chose to trust God. And that is where the covenant begins. Part 2, what is a covenant? A covenant is not just a promise. It is a sacred, unbreakable agreement. In Genesis 12, God made 3 powerful promises to Abraham. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you. Through you, all the families of the earth will be blessed. But there was a huge problem. Abraham and his wife Sarah had no children. They were too old. It seemed impossible. But God was not asking Abraham to understand the promise. God was asking him to believe. Part 3. The covenant ceremony, 3:30 to 5 o'clock. In Genesis 15, the covenant became even more dramatic. God told Abraham to bring animals and cut them in half. This may sound strange, but in ancient times, this was the most serious kind of agreement. Both parties would walk between the broken animals, saying, "If I break this covenant, may I become like these animals." But something shocking happened. Abraham did not walk through the pieces. Only God's presence, symbolized as a smoking firepot and a flaming torch, passed through them. This meant something incredible. God took full responsibility for the covenant. He was saying, even if you fail, I will not. Part 4. The long wait of faith, 5 to 6:30. Years passed. 10 years. 15 years. 20 years. Still no child. Abraham made mistakes. He doubted. He tried to help God's plan. But God never broke the promise. Finally, when Abraham was 100 years old and Sarah was 90, the impossible happened. They had a son. His name was Isaac, which means laughter, because God turned their doubt into joy. This is the power of covenant faith. Part 5. The greatest test, 6:30 to 8 o'clock. Then came the most heartbreaking moment. God tested Abraham. Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and offer him as a sacrifice. This was not cruelty. This was a test of trust. Abraham obeyed. He walked up the mountain, built the altar, and lifted the knife. But at the last moment, God stopped him. Do not lay a hand on the boy. God provided a ram in the bushes. And God said, because you have trusted me, your descendants will be as numerous as the stars in the sky. This moment changed history. Part 6. Why this covenant still matters today, 8 to 9:30. God's covenant with Abraham did not end with him. According to the Bible, the ultimate fulfillment of this promise came through Jesus Christ. The blessing to all nations was not just about land. It was about salvation. Through Abraham's line came King David, the nation of Israel, and finally, Jesus, the Savior of the world. This covenant is about faith, grace, and God's unbreakable promise to humanity. Final powerful closing. Abraham was not perfect. He was not strong. He was not fearless. But he believed, and because of that, God changed the world through one man's faith. The same God who spoke to Abraham still speaks today. The same God who made that covenant still keeps his promises. The only question is, will you trust him? Call to action. If this story inspired you, like the video, share it with someone who needs hope. and subscribe for more powerful Bible stories.